Good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. This is Natalie Savell from Natalie Savell Coaching and Consulting. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. It's raining like crazy here in Maryland, and it's pretty gray and yucky, and it makes me just want to like curl up and take a nap all day. So I'm on here today to talk about mindfulness and how it relates to building resilience to stress. I work with a lot of people who have anxiety, who tend towards anxiety. If you find yourself with racing thoughts frequently, ruminating, getting caught up in worry or getting caught up in regret about the past, or consumed by worry about the future, or consumed about something that went wrong, this video is for you. Because what I'm going to do is teach you a way to manage your thoughts better and be a little bit more in control of how you respond to what's going on around you, rather than just reacting moment to moment. It's like almost like most of us function like we're in a pinball machine. We're just like reacting, bouncing around from here to there all day long, right? From this stressor to that stressor. Instead of really being intentional and choosing how we're responding and how our day is going to go, and what sort of decisions we want to make, what sort of actions we want to take, who we want to be that day, right? So mindfulness is a way to do that. It is one of the most powerful ways that I've seen to actually gain control of that and give yourself some space between your reaction to what's going on and the thing that you choose to do next, okay? So what it is conceptually is just like observing your thinking. So it's literally just seeing that you're having thoughts. I heard someone recently say paying attention to what you're paying attention to, right? So just noticing the types of thoughts that are going on in your head, because we have thoughts going on in our head all the time, right? Like we're always analyzing, judging, whatever. Like we just have constant thinking going on in our heads, right? So bringing mindfulness into our lives is a way to notice how our thinking patterns go. So what sorts of thoughts do we get stuck on? What occurrences around us like hook us and make us go into a certain thought pattern that's actually really destructive and not helpful, right? So sometimes I call it the anxiety train. So something happens around you and you start, your thoughts start going onto the anxiety train, and you start thinking about all the reasons why that's going to be a disaster, and all the things in the future that aren't going to work because of that thing, and how powerless you are, and blah, 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 and how wrong they are, and da, 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 and oh my God, it's never going to work, and oh my gosh, it's an emergency, right? And so we get onto the anxiety train, chugging along, and it just gets us more and more worked up. It doesn't solve any solutions to any problems, right? So the task using mindfulness is to say, oh, there I go with that way of thinking, because this thing just happened around me that I know triggers me into anxiety, right? So I know that thing generally triggers me into anxiety. Oh, I'm noticing the thoughts that start the anxiety train chugging along, right? And so once you notice that, then you have the power to choose, because we can't control our feelings and we cannot control our behaviors, our reactions, but we can control our thinking, which is where feelings start, okay? So if you start to notice your thoughts before they get too far along and before you get all the way down that train track, you can say, you know what? That actually doesn't help me. I know where that train goes. It never feels good. It always ends in disaster. I always end up screaming at my kids or my husband, or doing that destructive habit, overeating, over drinking, whatever it is. So I'm just not going to go on that train. Instead, I'm going to focus on my breath, come into the present moment, maybe say an affirmation like it's not an emergency, or everything right now is fine, right? So come back to the truth of the reality of what's actually going on, which right here, right now, everything is fine, right? It's only in our minds that we're making up that things are not okay in the future or down the line, right? But actually, if we take a moment, notice our surroundings, feel our feet on the ground, take a breath, notice that we're breathing in and out. It's actually not an emergency. And in most situations, if we're feeling that way, the best response is no response, okay? And the best response is to wait until you're more calm and you can think more rationally. Because when you're in that fight or flight mode, you are not thinking rationally. You are just like anxiety train has gotten a hold of you and it's not helpful. So identifying that is the first step. Just noticing how many times a day do my thoughts go into total obsessive worry, right? How many times a day do my thoughts go into regret or whatever it is, like anger or resentment, or how many times a day do my thoughts go in there? And just starting to notice and take stock of like how often that happens and what your normal tendencies are, right? Because then once you learn that, that gives you power. Awareness is such power. Self-awareness is such power. Then you get to choose and be more thoughtful about where your thoughts and attention go, okay? So a way to practice this and build the muscle, a lot of people teach meditation, right? There's a very simple meditation. You can find all kinds on YouTube. I do teach it. I'm not going to in this video. I'm just talking about it. I'll do it in another video if people want. But the idea is to be able to train your mind to focus your attention. Okay, so it's like building a muscle. You train your mind to focus your attention so that when it wants to spin out, your muscle is strong and you can choose to bring it back to your breath. So what's most helpful, what I've seen be most helpful, is to bring your attention back to the breath, to your physical sensation. So how you're feeling in your body, how you're feeling, with your feet on the floor. A good one to do is just how your hands are feeling. If you're driving and you're feeling anxious, like how does the steering wheel, what's the texture on your hands? You can even just do like pinch yourself a little bit on the thigh, nothing like self-destructive or self-harming, but just like give yourself little pinches just to bring yourself back into your body and back into the present moment, back into the here and now. And so the way you can build that muscle is just to train yourself to sit still and watch your thinking. Often I teach people to label their thinking. Oh, there's an anxious thought. Oop, there's a sad thought. Oop, there's an angry thought. And then once you've noticed it, label it, let it float away, and bring your attention back to the breath, back to the sensations in the body. Okay, so that's just a basic rundown of like how mindfulness can help so much to bust stress, just to, get rid of it. And to not let yourself go into those like highly panicked modes, because honestly, they're so not helpful. I've said that before, but I'll say it again. It's so not helpful to be like panicking or super worried or super stressed. It does not do anyone any good. And I just want to say too that like training your mind doesn't have to be sitting in meditation. It can be training your mind to pay attention to the shower, like strong sensations when they happen. Just to train your mind to pay attention to what it feels like in the shower. Actually pay attention to the water falling onto your body, right? Or when you're doing the dishes, pay attention to how the soap feels on your hands. Or like I said, in the car, pay attention to what the steering wheel texture feels like on your hands, right? Or it could be sitting at your desk and taking a moment to just pay attention to like, is my body relaxed right now? Where are my shoulders? I do that a lot. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm up here, where is my heart? Am I heavy in my heart? Is my stomach in a knot? Just getting to know the sensations of your body. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if it was. Drop a comment below if it was helpful or what you got out of it. And I will be back soon. Bye, y'all.